Hello, ladies, and welcome to the last episode of the year 2019 for Black Girls Heal. This has been an incredible year. So much has happened, and I was thinking, I don't know if this is like an age thing. Like there were a couple like recent events that have like been circling around in the news, and it was like it happened in 2016 and happened in 2017, and I'm like, I feel like that like just happened. Where did the time go? And for 2019 it feels like so much happened. So just time is just interesting these days, but this has been awesome. I was counting up the number of women that I got to directly serve as clients, as students, as mentees, and I was able to serve. I think the numbers are changing now because we are still enrolling for the Healed and Loved Woman, but somewhere in between 100 and 115 women. So in between 100 and 115 women, I got to know your stories, your histories. You allowed me into your lives to help you heal, to have some breakthroughs. Some people reconciled with their mothers that they had long-standing tension and conflict with. I was able to help some people have some breakthroughs in their own self-love and healing, and be able to fully act in joy and self-love. I've had some women move the needle in ways that they had never been able to move it before, to rediscover a part of themselves that they never were able to tap into before. I've helped some other women leave some really toxic situations that they thought that they were powerless to leave before, and they were able to do so. I've helped many more women learn how to become their own best friends and become their own self-healers and see that they really do have the power to change inside of themselves. And that is the message that I want to share with you. If I haven't said it enough times, I just want to remind you that if you are waiting for something or someone outside of you to save you, if you're like, yes, I could do it myself, but wouldn't it be great if $1 million fell from the sky, if such and such initiated the apology, if I met the man or the woman of my dreams when I walked into my local grocery store and they just made it easy, wouldn't all of that just really be great? And maybe it would be, but it really wouldn't give you this deep transformation, this deep sense of empowerment, happiness, joy, as it would if you would know and truly believe that you have the power to change your life right now, today. That if you have been trying to do things and they have not been working out for you, this isn't to say that you haven't been trying hard enough, that there's something wrong with you. It's just maybe you've been using a screwdriver when you should have been using a hammer. Or maybe you have been in places that are not as encouraging for your movement, and it's time for you to switch the places that you call home. But just like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, she had those ruby red slippers with her that whole time, and she went around all of Oz looking for the wizard, looking for Glinda the Good Witch, looking for all these people to help her. She had it with her the whole time. So as you go into 2020, I really want you to consider, where are the places that I want to start? Where are the places that I maybe have been settling? Where are the places that I've been frustrated and just gave up, either recently or a long time ago? And I think sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you, I think sometimes giving up is therapeutic. Bump what other people say. I think sometimes we do need to give ourselves a break to just grieve and say, this is hard and I've been trying for so long, and to let yourself feel that sadness, let yourself feel that frustration. We stay sick when we try to bottle up our feelings, when we don't let ourselves have our good days and our bad days. You're human, right? So it's okay for you to want to take a break, because it's exactly just that. It's just a break. So often we can be afraid of our emotions, because we think that if we feel them, we will get stuck there, and that's not the case. I've said on the podcast before, emotions are just like a wave. They come up and they will come right back down. So let yourself feel that sadness. You are not going to die in a puddle of tears, even though it may feel that way. Once you actually start to validate that the pain that you've been feeling is valid, you can actually start to move through it. I've talked about in 2019 as well that old children's song, that Going on a Bear Hunt song. And if you've never heard it, you need to listen to it. But the verses go that these little kids are going on a journey to find a bear, and they keep hitting all these obstacles. They hit a river and they're like, can't go over it, can't go under it. I guess I gotta go through it. And then they hit like a giant field of tall grass, and same thing, can't go over it, can't go under it. I guess I gotta go through it. And so many of us are just kind of stuck on the sidelines saying, okay, well, this is as far as I've gotten, and I'm good with that. And I'm telling you, you got to go through it. And maybe you need a machete to get through that tall grass, but you need to find your tool and keep going, because what's on the other side is worth it. You are not a victim to your experiences. You are not weak. You are not the only one in the world who is too broken, too lost, too fucked up to make a move. That's not you. God has created you for a purpose. The universe has created you for a purpose. Spirit has created you for a purpose. Whatever your language is, I need you to hear that there is more for you than what you're experiencing. And if you are at that place right now of happiness and joy, I want you to know that this is your normal. In case that hasn't clicked for you yet, I want you to know that life really was and is meant to be this easy. There's no shoe that's dropping. This is it. Enjoy it. Feel it. Embrace it. Have gratitude for it. Expect it, right? Expect that tomorrow and expect that today are going to be awesome days, because they will be. Let that energy that is inside of you create your reality. And that energy switching from fear or anxiety, switching it to hope, to optimism, to abundance, to that inner knowing that good things are meant for you. One of the ways that I decided to close out this year is for whenever you watch our masterclass, there is a spot that has for you to enter your cell phone number. And some people do, some people don't. But the idea is that I can turn on text notifications for folks, so that they make sure they don't miss their time. Because if you miss it, then you have to re-sign up again. It doesn't send you the replay unless you actually go and attend it. So it's a whole thing. And so when you put in your phone number, you're added to my mailing list. And so I actually, called people on my mailing list over the last couple of weeks. My goal is to hit everyone who has submitted their phone numbers over the next couple of months. So just know that you might hear from me, and it's not a robot call. I'm not trying to sell you anything. It really is. I love the women in this community. I do want to work with every single woman who has signed up for a roadmap or the masterclass, or emailed me, or has shared an IG story. My goal is that every single one of you whose lives I've touched, I do want you to become a client and work with me. So that is absolutely true. And I don't feel like I need to wait to connect with y'all and get to know you until you pull out your credit card. So those of you who did answer and respond to me, it's been so great to get to know you. And one of the things that people have constantly asked me for is support for people who are already in coupleships. So in case this is your one of your first podcasts here, or even if it's not your first, sometimes I hear that people are like kind of like, well, what are the programs? And I'm like, yo, I talk about it all the time, but I'm happy to recap it, and figure out a way to like make it clear so that people know how to make the next step. So currently there are two programs that we have. There's the Learn to Thrive program, which is my signature. It's my baby. It's the one that was built to help women learn how to heal unresolved trauma, improve their self-love, and improve how they show up in relationships. So not just romantic relationships, but family relationships, friend relationships, and do exactly what the title says, learn to have a life where they are truly thriving. And so I've had women who've come into the program and they have not felt the best about where they are in life, and they reach a place where they really do feel like they're thriving. I've had people who've come into the program feeling like their life is really great, and then they join the program and it gets even greater. So I'm really proud of it. And then there's the Healed and Loved Woman, which is just for those of us who are like, I just want to focus on me and me alone, looking at my family stuff, looking at like getting rid of self-doubt and limiting beliefs, and growing and just doing that deep inner child, inner work. That's the focus for the Healed and Loved Woman, so that you can leave after our year together feeling healed and loved. So all this is going somewhere. So I'm constantly getting requests from people saying, do you have anything for couple work? And I'm like, well, you can use either of these programs depending on what you want to work on, even if you're in a coupleship. And, sometimes it takes me a while. But finally I was like, okay, let me see if I can actually create something for people who are in couples, so that they don't feel like they have to be singles, so that people don't feel like you have to be looking to date, because some people feel like Learn to Thrive is just for people who are looking for a romantic relationship and are single or in situationships. I'm like, let me create something just for them. And so I put out a survey to our mailing list and asked how people feel about the relationships, asked if I could call them in case they said something that I wanted more questions with, and people put their phone numbers, and I talked to so many women about their relationships and how they're looking, and gave some advice, and was just like present and supportive. And here's what I learned. This is how it's connected to what I was just talking about. I learned that there are so many more of you ladies out there who have amazing men and women by your side. You have amazing partners who are like, let's talk about your feelings. Like, what's going on? Like, how can I love you? How can I support you? And what you need help with is learning how to be vulnerable and open to that. Because now what I was just talking about, your happiness being here and kind of being afraid to lean into it, that's where you are right now. You have someone who's wonderful near you, but your trauma is stopping you from embracing it. Your trauma is making you wonder, when is this going to be over? When is he or she going to find me out? And then related to that, some of you, know exactly what you have, but then you've done so much hard work in, learning how to love yourself. And so, you're attracted to someone who's of really great energy. But what's hard for you to do is hard for you to let your walls down, because you're really afraid to lose yourself like you did before. So you only have two speeds. Either I'm going to fully lose all of me and just become kind of like a puppet and become needless and wantless and go with whatever he or she wants me to do. And you're like, I don't want to do that. I've done that before. Or the other speed is I'm going to just, keep my cards to myself. It's easier for me to be open and loving towards other people, but being intimate with you is hard. Like it's reflexive. It's not almost reflexive. It is reflexive. It's hard for you to go there with your partner. And so you need to know how to be there in the middle. How do I love me and fully love someone else? How do I be interdependent? And so And so it was so great to like hear that. And so great to like celebrate with so many of you that you are in such a wonderful place and you just need support, embracing it, right? So that is going to be the next and final program that I hope to make for you ladies here in Black Girls Heal. How do you fully heal and love yourself while in a committed partnership, a healthy committed partnership? There are some of us that are in situationships that we are wondering if they're healthy or trying to make healthy. And so there'll be something for you ladies to hopefully give you some clarity, because I've known this and also heard it with some of the women that I was talking with. You kind of get burnt out. You really want to just talk to someone who is neutral, because you feel like everyone around you is biased, and to talk to someone who gets it and who has been there before is really helpful. So that's what I'm excited for 2020, and also something else that I'm planning on cooking up for everyone to participate in, to bring us together even more as a community, that I'm really excited about. But I am learning to not say stuff until it's ready. It's really hard for me because I get really excited, and I overestimate and underestimate at the same time the amount of time that it takes for some things to get completed. So that's something that I am going to be working on in 2020. Just my sense of time is completely off. But that's it. I don't want to get too far into talking about future projects and lose my original message, which is you have the power to change your life, ladies. And I want you to own it. If you are listening to this real time or close to real time, if you go to our Instagram page or our Facebook page, I'm just now finishing the My Year of Me challenge, where I'm talking about 5 different areas of inner healing for you to focus on in 2020. So where, there's lots of podcasts, lots of blog articles, lots of people talking about getting ready for 2020, getting ready for the new year. And inner healing is just one of the things for you to focus on. I believe that everything in our life comes out of how healthy we are internally, right? So how well I'm going to be able to focus on my career goals and everything else depends on my mental and emotional health, right? How well I'm able to take care of myself physically depends on how I'm able to love myself and have my own boundaries, and boundaries with other people and boundaries with myself. It all starts with you. You are the wellspring for everything. And so in case you are close to the time when this podcast comes out, it'll be very easy for you to access those videos. They are on IGTV, on our Instagram account at blackgirlsheal_. And on Facebook, of course, is in the video archive as well. And in case you are not listening to this close to the end of 2019, you can scroll if you want to and find those videos and watch them and just kind of start to take some notes on what you can start to do. But yeah, that's it for this episode. I am so proud of all of you for investing. Every time you listen to an episode, you have been investing in your internal and mental health. You have been planting seeds, ladies. And I know that you are going to start seeing the fruit of that if you haven't already. But I'm so proud of you. I look forward to working with more of you in 2020 as clients, as students, as part of the Black Girls Heal family. And that's it. Take care of yourselves. Love you all.